Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I have a world record hot lap around Brazil on F1 2021 and then we'll have the track guidance set up right after it. I think this is one of the hardest circuits on the game to set a world record on because the track is so simple and short. So like any mistakes just cost you so much, and usually on the leaderboards the times are very close as well. Yeah, so with that said, enjoy the lap. So heading on to the detailed analysis of the lap now. Turn 1 is very important because it sets up the next two corners, which is entirety of the first sector. And you want to use this curb on the inside. If you miss it, you're just going to go a bit wide, and that will make your entry into turn 2 more narrow. So you want to make sure you use this curb. Then into turn 2, again, using go off the track on the inside, or almost a cut very close. And more importantly, in this corner, you want to have your steering angle constant and like don't make any adjustments, just pick an angle and stick with it, because if you make any corrections, the rear will just snap. Now again, using the curb and staying all the way to the inside to minimize the distance. And now down to turn 4, a bit tricky, but using the curb on the inside, just make sure to use it smoothly. Sometimes it tends to be a bit weird, but yeah, as long as you get on the power early and don't lose any traction, you should be fine. Again, staying all the way to the inside. And now I think this is the hardest corner on the track because the car just tends to be quite unstable towards the exit. So you want to make sure on the entry your steering input is very smooth, and like slow the car right down for the first apex, then get on the throttle as hard as you can. Again, smooth inputs. You want to make sure your car is stable in this braking zone and using off the track as well to open up the next corner. Going a bit deep on purpose because there's not really an exit until the next corner, and yeah, just hugging the inside through here. And quite tough on traction usually, so if you feel the need to short shift up to fourth on this exit. And at this corner, you want to make sure you use all of the track on the entry, and don't touch the grass because I've done that a few times and it feels quite stupid. But yeah, slow the car right down to second gear, maybe even first. That also works, but yeah, second gear worked for me on this lap. And important exit. Now hug the inside, hug shift to seventh, then yeah, final corner or penultimate corner really. You want to miss both of these curbs on the entry and exit by as little as possible. I picked up a bit of understeer on the exit, but it was still fine. And now staying all the way to the inside on the run up to the line, which is easy flat of course, and yeah, that is a world record hot lap around Brazil, 105.121. You can see the leaderboards are very close, only about 30 thousandths between me and second place, and I think we'll definitely be in the 104s very soon. Just a matter of time, in my opinion. Yeah, let's look at the setup now. For the aerodynamic settings, running 10 on the front wing and 5 for the rear wing, which you could expect it to be too high for Brazil, but with how Sector 2 is, it just works. Like, there's a lot more to gain in Sector 2 than the final sector with the very long straight. So it just gave me a really good grip, and obviously the front wing is higher to provide more responsiveness. So for the transmission settings, running 100% on the on-throttle differential and 50% on the off-throttle differential, I found that putting the on-throttle diff all the way to the right just gave me the best traction out of the corners, and it was just the easiest to drive with, and I found it to be faster. So stuck with that. And as always, for the off-throttle differential, put it all the way down to 50% just to provide me the maximum rotation mid-corner. And yeah, as I always say, if you have ABS off, make sure to put that a bit higher. Otherwise, the rear end will just be very unstable mid-corner, and you won't be able to control the car. Now, this is something new that I haven't seen anyone do yet. So running the camber left left and the toe right left. As I was saying in the track guide, the car felt quite unstable through certain corners, like the long ones through turn two and the uphill right hander in the middle sector. So basically, what I've done is by moving the front camber all the way to the left, I made the car more stable through those long corners, the front end of the car, but that gave me some more understeer than by putting the front toe all the way to the right. I made the car slightly more responsive through the entrance of those corners, but yeah, on the entry it made it a bit more unstable. But when those two things add up, it just sort of counteracted each other and made the car more responsive on entry, but a bit more understeery mid corner and towards the exit. So it just worked for me. I know it's quite unusual. And yeah, as for the rear toe, just kept it all the way to the left as always. So going to the suspension settings now, running 1.6 for the stiffness and 2.2 for the roll bars. As you recall, that's actually the same settings I had in France. I tested some different settings, but they just didn't really work as well as this one, so I just stuck with this. It gave me good balance. And for the right height, running 10.6 helped me recover some of that straight line speed I lost. And yeah, I just liked the way it handled, and because of the front toe making the car more unstable on entry, 10.6 sort of helped give the opposite effect and make it more stable on entry. So it just worked very well for me. Now moving on to the brakes, 100% brake pressure as always. There's no point really changing that. And for the brake bias, quite high relative to some of my other setups. But yeah, just improve the braking performance. Having the brake bias more to the front helps reduce stopping distance. That's what I aim to achieve by putting it more to the front. And the final part of the setup, the tire pressures, as usual, I kept it at maximum PSI. Just gave me the best stability, and yeah, I don't see much point changing it in time trial, but in a race setup, you would want to lower it, of course, to have better tire temperatures. But yeah, maximum pressures, and that's about it really for the setup. Thank you for watching. As always, if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I haven't decided on what track to record next, so if you have any preferences, also let me know in the comments. I know Belgium was a requested one, so that's on my short list. And yeah, that's it for the video, and I'll see you soon.